Right, it's in there somewhere. There we go. Got it. Yeah. Right, my heart rate monitor strap is a new one. I've been really struggling. I run with a Sunto 9 and I'm really struggling with my heart rate monitor. I don't run with heart rate. I run all on RPE, rate of perceived exertion, as you know. But I like to know what my heart rate is, especially when I'm doing easy runs, because I like to make sure I don't go over 130. If I'm doing an easy run, I'm about 123, and I'm pretty proud of the fact that my heart rate is low when I'm running, because I know that I'm getting fitter, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. I'm not really worried about sort of how high my heart rate goes, but it's been mad. It's been going up to like 290 or something with this thing, and what happens is it spikes up at the beginning of my run, and then drops and then starts to level out. I've tried the gels, I've tried all sorts of stuff, but this is the final stab. It's a new belt. I've got obviously the this little bit here, the monitor bit, whatever it's called, and I'll put a new battery in that and see if we can get it going. Anyway, that's my little gripe on that. So threshold, this is where we're at now. It is a new training block for me. We've been doing aerobic power and now we're moving on to threshold, and there's loads of names for it: threshold, lactate threshold, tempo running, steady state running, all sorts of stuff. Looking at Jack Daniels' book, he's talking about your threshold point is 82 to 88% of your top speed, right? Okay, so it's really when you're running hard, and it's about 60 minutes, so you can hold that pace for 60 minutes. And beware, because don't be worried, we all have different levels, because 60 minutes for me, I don't know how far I'd run, 13, 14k, something like that. Whereas a pro athlete would run the half marathon at that. So that's that's their threshold as such. And what we're trying to do now for my next training block is to run at threshold. But I'm just trying to get my head around it, what all these names are. It's really confusing. And when you look up on the internet, you look on YouTube, all sorts of stuff. There's loads of stuff going on about it. But I think I've sussed it out. And it's at that point where you're running and you're at that sort of steady state. You're running pretty well, pretty fast. And it's a point where you push it just a bit too far and you get that burn in your legs. You wouldn't be able to carry that on for much longer. And that point where it starts to grow up, it grows up very, very quickly. If you looked on a graph, you're literally running like that. There's your lactate. And all of a sudden it just goes, poof, it spikes up. And that there is your threshold point. And what we're trying to do with our threshold running and our training is to train at that point. Okay, now I don't know my threshold. I haven't done a VO2 max in a lab. You can't do it now with CV19. I'd love to do it, and you basically need to understand it. My coach is going to do an FTP where I do a test in the end of this 3-week block, and he's going to probably give me my threshold. But looking at my training peaks at the moment, my threshold's about 7 minute 25 or a 430 kilometer. Okay, so 725 mile, 430 kilometer. And that 725 mile doesn't sound that fast, but I'm running on hills and I'm running out on the trails. So on a flat, I wouldn't have a clue what it would be on a track or anything like that. So that's kind of my threshold, and that's what I'm trying to train myself at. Now, the point of that is it's where the lactate accumulates to a point where your body just can't clear it anymore. So you're bringing all this oxygen, your body's trying to get rid of it with breathing really hard, and you just can't. And that's where you get that burn. And does lactate cause that burn? That's another discussion. Apparently not, but let's not worry about that. But that's where you just can't go anymore. So that is your threshold point. But you don't want to go over it, and you don't want to go too under it. So it's quite hard to get that level. But hey, it's practice, I guess. You can probably do it by numbers, looking at clocks, and looking at watches and heart rates and stuff like that. But I haven't got all that technology with me. But anyway, it's all done on RPE. But that's your threshold. Now you may ask why we do it. Well, the reason really is to do the threshold. What you're trying to do is you're trying to increase your speed and you're trying to increase your endurance. That is why we're doing this threshold training. It's so important. And what we're trying to do is stress ourselves so that we improve. Okay, so have a little bit of stress, improve, and we go up, and we slowly but surely improve. And you will get faster. I'm trying to get faster when I'm doing my ultras, and you're probably thinking, why would you want to do that for ultras? Because ultra is a slow race. Apart from if you'll run some of these fast guys. I mean, there's a guy called Zach Bitter. He's amazing. Look him up if you don't know him. I mean, he does 100 milers in 12 hours on the track, things like that. You know, all these guys who do it, and they're very, very fast. Now, they've accumulated a lot of threshold training, and they've also, you know, done that over a period of time to improve and get faster and faster and faster. So when you're doing an ultra and you're out there and you're, yeah, sure, at a certain level, you're going to be doing a lot of walking, a lot of running, you know, a bit of a mix. But if you're trying to look for that better performance, a bit more speed, which I am, you're going to need to do your threshold to increase that speed and that natural, steady state speed. And that's what it's all about. You can keep that speed up for as long as possible. And we're trying to extend that length all the time with this training. So that is what threshold is all about. So down to my training plan. We've now got a new training plan, a new 3-week block. It is looking pretty exciting, okay? My level of fitness is really good. I'm about 85, so I'm best I've been for a while. Things are good. I feel really good. My legs are not in sore at all. I've got no injuries, and touch wood. But it's good. There's a number of reasons why that is. Definitely I'm putting more strength stuff in. Last year I didn't do any strength stuff. This year I am. I bought one of these recovery guns as well. I think that is really helping me out, and I'm also having these nice hot baths, Epsom salts. I'm not doing any stretching at the moment, guys. I'm not doing any stretching at all, which is odd, and I'm not doing any much Pilates either, and my legs feel fine. You know, okay, I'll probably bend down, touch my toes, not so supple, but I feel the best I have. So don't know if that's got something to do with it or not. We'll see. Training plan at the moment, what's it look like this week? I've had, we're breaking it up. We've had 2 easy runs. So I do an easy run on the Monday, probably about 10k on the Monday. It goes nice and easy. That's my recovery run from the weekend and the week before. I then have 2 back-to-back threshold workouts, and that is really tough. Now it's really interesting this, because you're doing your 2 back-to-back workouts. You've got to be careful not to overdo them. But what you don't want to do is loads of threshold stuff during the week. It is extremely stressful. If you go out and run a 10k, full pace, race pace, as hard as you possibly can, you need to recover from that. It's going to take you a good week to recover, really, your body even longer. So if you're doing your threshold stuff, what you want to do is break it down. So this week, looking at my numbers, I did a really nice, I'll tell you what I can do. I can probably record it on my phone. I did a really good run. Let's see if I can get this going. Let's have a look here. Here we go. Let's record. And right. So if we're looking at training peaks now, you should be able to see it. This is this workout I did, and it's really good to have a look at. So it's threshold specific. It's a 4x2 kilometre with a 0.8 kilometre recovery after each 2 kilometres you do. Okay, it was planned. You can see that it says planned 1:30. I actually completed at 1:15. Not so worried about that I did it fast, but it was a really good workout. Okay, now if you look down here, you can see the graph, which just gives you a feel for what the workout does, up and down, nice peaks and troughs, and then there you can see repeat 4 times at hard 8 RPE. Now, if I'm looking at my let's just close that off. There we go. So if I'm looking at my time at threshold there, and then the next day I had another threshold workout, and I spent 20 minutes at threshold. I looked at those stats there, and I was about 35 minutes at threshold there. Add those two together, I did 55 minutes of threshold running this week. That is enough. So it's kind of like a hard 10k, but split over 2 days. You get a bit of recovery, right? So that way is I can still recover, I can still do my training for next week, my legs still feel good, I just haven't overdone it, and that's so important to get that right. Okay, that is the key to this sort of these training plans, is not to overdo it so you get injured, because you've got a long way to go till the arc of attrition. Anyway, there we are. So Thursday, so that was Tuesday, Wednesday, then Thursday I did my leg workout. That's going really well. Did my weights, all legs only. Haven't been doing upper body. I've got a problem with my elbow at the moment. Did my lower body stuff. I'm basically doing squats. I'm up to about 55 kg on the squats, which is pretty heavy for me. I was 60 kg last time before the A100, but obviously towards the end I stopped doing them because I don't want to overstress my legs. But I do like, I get the squat bar out, which is 20 kg. I do 20 repetitions of that just to warm up, plus some TRX stuff beforehand, and then I'll do 40 kg, 40 kg, 50 kg, and then 55 kg, and I'll do repetitions of 8 of each. And then I'll do some foam roll squats, where you put the foam roller at the back of the wall and you just go down. That's good for the quads, and I'll put some weights on that. And then what else did I do? I did some Bulgarian squats, or split squats they're called. And then I also did some calf raises as well with some heavy weights. I was in the gym for about, my little gym, in for about 45 minutes. That was a really good leg workout. Then on Friday I did an easy run, 10k. And then tomorrow it's Saturday now, so tomorrow I've got my long run, 3-hour long run. So I'm just getting prepped for that, just getting all my stuff together. I'm going to run in my Olympus Ultras, really nice. Check them out. I'm getting used to these now. They're a pretty cool shoe. They've got a nice little bounce on them in the sole, and I'm feeling that now. And it's a nice little shoe. I've got to say, looking forward to that. And they've got a great grip, so I'm going to get those out. What else? Just got to get my nutrition right. Going to take a few Mountain Fuel bars. So take some water. Take my Salomon vest. Yeah, should be a good run. Right, let's go do it. There we go, long run done. That was tough. It's quite interesting because I was talking about threshold and doing my threshold workouts, and it was a perfect workout on Tuesday. I think it is on Strava, my dream workout. Everything went absolutely spot on. I found my threshold. I managed to sort of float in between, not falling apart, but keeping up the pace. Obviously I had a few hills and bits and pieces to sort out, but I kept everything bang on. And it's all about RPE, all about the kind of how you feel, and trying to work out if you push that a little bit too far, you just can't carry on. So it's really interesting. But my long run today was a bloody nightmare. I got up too early. My legs felt really heavy, never really got into it, couldn't really get into any rhythm at all. I took my, obviously you've seen, took my camera out, so you're mucking about a little bit, but I just couldn't get any focus, any rhythm or anything like that. So it was a bit of a, I was out for 3 hours, I did 16.6 miles. Yeah, it was good, I enjoyed it once I got into it, but yeah, wasn't a great, not every time does it happen. So we just got to let that one go. I think we just got to be grateful that we are fit, that we are healthy, that you're out running, you're in nature, you're enjoying it. It was a bit of a disaster. I took my headphones, my earplugs, and I forgot to even turn them on till about an hour into them. So it was a bit of a funny one. Anyway, that's all about that. Next week I've got more of the same. I've got 2 workouts to do. We've upped up the threshold now. So as I was talking about kind of keeping it to 60 minutes split over 2, we've moved up to about 70 to 80 minutes now, depending on how quick I do it in. And that's going to basically be 6 by 1.6s and also 30 minutes. So do 20-minute warm up, then 30-minute threshold, and then 20 minutes. So there's 2 nice workouts there. Got an easy run and also got my long run again for 3 hours. So it's going to be a good week next week. Really looking forward to it. Bad news on my race, it's been cancelled. The TD Tour de Havelin has been cancelled, so not great as we're coming out to lockdown. I would have thought they'd sort that out, but anyway, you can't gripe, you can't moan, just one of those things, isn't it? But that's enough from me. Hopefully I haven't gone on again too much, you know, chatted about too much, but I'm going to look into training loads next time and sort of trying to discuss that and sort of do a bit of investigation this week on that. So that'll be quite interesting, which I'll share with you next week. But anyway, you have a great week, everyone. You know, do some great training. Make sure you're learning something. Obviously, we're not racing. If you are, well done. Well done, Centurion runners who did the virtual racing. Brilliant. Well done. Good job. And yeah, hopefully you repeat it and we get better.